So today we're in Guildford in Surrey for our third end of year video, and this year has been absolutely crazy, so we cannot wait to tell you all about it. But just before we do, let's take a quick watch of some of the things we've done so far.
It's brisk out there, Rach.
Yeah, it's nice to be somewhere warm for a change.
And welcome to our setting. Yes, because the last two I have made you quite cold, haven't I?
Yeah. The end of the pier at Weston-super-Mare
those deck
2
chairs,
years ago.
But those deck chairs were super cool.
They were cool, yeah.
But we did have to chisel you off the seat afterwards.
Yeah.
And I don't like ever admitting I'm cold, but I think I started to admit I was cold as well a little bit then. And a brand new unit in Industrial Park with no heating.
Yeah, that was freezing.
Watching your breath on camera trying to do a podcast, I did feel a little bit sorry for you then. And we couldn't really put hats and stuff on the inside because it was so warm, but we did have our jackets on. Where today, nice and snug.
Balmy today.
And no SEC branding, but Bell & Covell branding. So there's a little bit of a spoiler alert because we weren't actually going to announce this sponsorship until the 1st of January. But as it's Christmas, we might as well talk about it. Because for at least the next 2 years, we are partnering with Bell & Covell, Lotus Surrey, and also the McLaren Service Centre. So there's going to be some really great offers for McLaren owners and Lotus owners coming through from sales and service for Lotus and for service for McLaren. So plenty of great things to come. Yeah, really excited. On the subject of excitement though, we did do a very, very cool event very, very recently.
We did, yeah.
So rather than talk about it, we've prepared a video for the members that attended and the members that didn't see or attend the Winter Ball. So should we take a look?
Yeah, definitely.
So welcome to our third Winter Ball, this time in Aerospace Bristol. And this time it's really special. 20 years ago this week, Concorde landed here as the last ever Concorde to land. So it's a true honor to share it with this incredible aircraft and incredible cars. But we're going to talk to you tonight about the music, the cars, having Dr. Andy Palmer here, the CEO or the former CEO of Aston Martin, our chief ambassador, as well as some other ambassadors that are here with us. Yeah, I mean, who can not look at this view and not be absolutely gobsmacked? It's really, really wonderful. And I'm really, really looking forward to where the night has to go. We've just finished our first and second course, about to have our desserts. And Faye's about to come on. So I'll leave you listen to Faye.
Swept away slowly. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We won't sit down, face you don't take it off. Let the sky fall when it crumbles.
wow. I mean, I've just watched that again, and that was sends tingles down my spine.
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, what a night that was for everyone. And
For us, it was a little bit more than a night because we did start quite early.
we did. Yeah.
I think I thought I was going to die, so that our unit in Highbridge, where we keep all of our kit and all that sort of stuff, and I stupidly sent Ryan off to go and get Phil, and I said I'll do it myself, and it was like -3 degrees in a metal container that literally been freezing everything, and I got done thinking I don't even think I'm going to make the next hour, let alone the rest of the night. But yeah, and then getting the whole team at Molly's for a lunch and just seeing everyone
nice.
together. That was wicked, wasn't it?
That was lovely, yeah, seeing everyone there and having everyone a lot of the team with us at the ball was really great. But really, it was just seeing the members enjoy themselves and have such a fantastic time together in a lovely, relaxed environment. And everyone was dressed up and looked amazing, and the cars looked great.
I couldn't agree more. And I think the feedback, I've never, all the brands I've worked for and places I work for, I've never, ever had consistent feedback like that. I mean, people saying the best event they've ever been to. Yeah. I was gobsmacked. I was so proud. And it was just smiles all night, buzzing. Yeah, it was really, really cool. And I think the acts were great. It was quite funny. It got to about quarter to midnight, and I thought, I haven't actually watched any of the acts. I've been chatting with members and making sure they're fun, so I thought I'd better have a quick boogie. But I I really can't get over how spectacular it was. And for me, I think Concorde, we might have referenced 20 years since its landing.
You might have mentioned that in the video.
And just being there, having our ambassadors there, Peter Greaves, Petrol Pear, Dr. Andy Palmer.
Yeah.
It was just awesome, absolutely awesome.
It was.
But let's wind the clock back now to the beginning of the season, because it has been a very, 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 very busy season.
It has, yeah. Loads of content for the members, lots for them to enjoy and get their cars out and about at. So, yeah, really enjoyed it.
97 events this year.
I think that was the total, yeah.
But I think to kickstart the season off at Ferrari Hatfield being their first ever event, it was a major event there, 90 cars there, 150 people, launching the team van as well, and doing the whole unveiling of the van, because that is a huge part of the club this year. That's travelled more than probably what the Team B did, because it's been at all of the shows, carrying all of our kit, coffee machine, some members.
Place to have a nap.
Obviously not an alcohol-related nap, of course, and you know who you are if you're watching this. But it's been wicked. It's been like a little mini hospitality lounge.
It has, yeah. Everyone's really enjoyed it, and having that to keep the refreshments in and everything else, it's been really cool. And it's so much fun to drive. It's such a great van to drive, and the finish of it is just beautiful.
I do like the van, but after you drive our E63 as a support vehicle, it does feel quite slow. But it does slow you down as well. So, whereas you think, oh, there's a gap there I could possibly overtake. But with the van, you're like, nope, I'm just going to chill out, put the adaptive cruise on, listen to that upgraded sound system, sit on those quilted leather seats. And the air suspension is like riding in an S-Class. It's really comfortable. And you get out of it, think, bloody hell, I was in a van for this journey, and that's one thing that sort of blows my mind.
I think it definitely suits my driving style.
It definitely suits your driving style, yeah, absolutely.
So I think one of my highlights of the year would have been the SEC track days. As far as smiles go, that is an incredible event.
Tell you what though, a new event we've actually introduced this year is working with V-Force. So a bit like a track day, but you're having for a start, the surface isn't fixed, so that's always fun. And just seeing Subaru spent the entire time sideways and the members smiling away on that was pretty exceptional. There's some epic drone shots of the Subaru being chased by the drone and drifting, and actually as a Group A rally driver doing hot laps on that. Everything that you're supposed to do on a track day, you sort of scrap that, and then you forget everything and then just go for it. And there's so much runoff on that, and we're really looking forward to working with them, I think in a couple of months actually.
Well, we've got another rally day coming up with them, which is going to be awesome. So members going to get to do some power sliding, and
we've actually enhanced that because we've now hired Walters Arena, which is a bolt-on to the V-Force training area, and the difference is, imagine everybody knows Silverstone, but not everyone knows Walters Arena. Walters Arena is like the Silverstone of the rally world. It's where they held the World Rally Championships, Rally GB for Wales, and actually it's being fully marshalled. It's the ambulances, so it's not just a case of another rally school which we use, which was a lap round the hill, and something very, very experienced.
No,
but this is a full-blown World Rally stage, which professional drivers. I mean, I don't even think I'm scheduled to have a go if we go there, but I'm going to beg to have a go anyway, or maybe just try and take the van around the outside laps, put a little lap there. But yeah, that's going to be really sensational.
I've lost count of the number of breakfast meets we've done this year. So we did, a standout one for me would be at Skybourne, at the amongst the aeroplanes, which was really cool.
That looked wicked. And I was not at that event. I think Kane was doing some really cool sort of like a photo booth with a plane in the background. But you had some really strange cars there, because you had, not strange, that's the wrong thing to say, definitely not strange. But the fact, what I meant was you've got an AC Cobra and a pink Lamborghini SVJ.
Quite a mix of cars.
It was a mix,
yeah, it was a really nice one for the members. It was, we filled the hangar as well. So yeah, it was a very, very full event.
I think I wasn't there because I was doing breakfast events simultaneously in Cornwall from memory.
You were.
But not that I, don't like the Cornwall lot, but I was pretty jealous that you were in a hangar doing it just looked really, really wicked.
It was a really good fun one. It's cold though.
Yeah, it looked cold. Yeah, you had your hats on, your scarves on, the 3 coats. Yeah, it was very, very cold. And I think my breakfast was indoors, so I trumped that one. But I think for me, the breakfast meet was, we were on Beckett's corner at Silverstone hanging out. I mean, privately, Escapade, the new hotel complex, private hotel complex they're building there, and then having Silverstone, the Formula One circuit, just there in shot. I mean, that was really, really cool. Just getting so close to the track and being so casual about it as well. It's a really wicked cars turn up, and there's quite an iconic shot. We've got these 3 Ferraris all in a row. We had a 812 Superfast, and then framed by a 296 GTB. And this 488, and I just loved that picture. And we had a 4GT turn up, the Heritage livery, Henry's car. I just think it was cool. Nothing I'd ever expect. And I think that's what we try to do with members. We try to think outside of the box with stuff, and not do your standard, let's go to a pub, or a cafe. Let's try and do stuff that's just a little bit different, a little bit more interesting. Yeah,
definitely.
And on the subject of interesting, we have got that really lovely invitation by DK Engineering, because they invite us to go to the launch of that new auction platform called Kahuna.
Yes.
And oh my word, like for me, I'm used to be around special cars. The members' cars were special, and we had the first appearance of the 177 that's in the club now at that event. But my eyes nearly fell out of my sockets walking around what Kahuna had. I mean,
there's some automotive royalty there, wasn't there?
I mean, you couldn't even total what that room was worth. I think one of the cars one of the cars was a good £5 million car, and there was just lots of multi-million pound cars, car after car after car after car. Colours in that room was insane, and they had this wide-bodied Seal K. It was the Le Mans car Mercedes made, but they made the Roadster version. I think it's a one of one, and having that there was incredible. And we got to see behind the scenes of DK Engineering, their storage facility, and I think the first McLaren Speedtail outside of the factory was amazing to see that, and the first or only right-hand drive Ferrari F40 as well. That was very, very special.
Yeah, very cool. So we've also done some great breakfasts at some dealerships as well, who've been invited us along. Aston Martin Works was a fantastic one, because we got to see behind the scenes of their heritage workshops there, and the panel beating of a DB5, and lots of very cool stuff.
Because that's where they made the official Bond car.
Yeah,
the continuation. So the DB5s. And also, it's the home of, and I don't know why I didn't think about this, but they did the manual conversion of Vanquish.
Yeah,
where they converted that flappy pedal gearbox into a proper manual, and it's official because that's where they were made, those Vanquish. So,
I mean, it was on next to the site of the old factory, so yeah, very cool.
Yeah, that was really, really wicked, and the guys there are great and showing us around, and they're so knowledgeable, and it's amazing to just keep that production live. And actually, Morgan's quite similar as well. So we've been to Morgan as well a couple of times this year. Yeah. And actually seeing those techniques used is very, very similar to what you would see at the...
Very similar. Very
and a bit of a name drop. Bell & Cole also service Morgan, so...
they do.
Yeah. We'll get that one in there as well. So let's cut back to those really special cars, because not only do we see them at Kahuna, we're actually at supercar shows and festivals with those cars, and having our paddock right at the end of the hypercar rally, as they call it at Supercar Fest, as everybody walked down and saw those hypercars and ended up in SCC World, which was really, really cool. Great location, and we absolutely loved that event.
But there was
Yeah, I mean, you've got some really dynamic stuff because you've got the sprints that happen. So all the cars pinging off down there, some loads of noise. You've got those cars moving everywhere. It just feels really busy, doesn't it, Supercar Fest?
It does. There's a lot going on. And it's 2 days, but you still probably don't get to see everything. There's, lots of content there for the members.
But don't forget, even the 2 days, the cars can on runway change. Our cars, our pitch change as well. So some cars stay for 2 days, some can come do 1 day spaces.
Yeah.
It's not like the same event 2 days in a row. And I think the car clubs that are down the far end, which we'll mention, but they also change on the weekends. I don't think they're there for the 2 days. So it's a really great event to come and see everything. I mean, I think there was like 2 or 3 Valkyries there. I lost count of how many Koenigsegg's were there with Koenigsegg London. But yeah, that was just absolutely wicked. That's a really cool event. And then the complete contrast of that is Beauty in the New Forest.
Yes, yeah. They still have their demo runs, don't they, at Beauty, which is great to watch.
And the sound off.
And the sound off, yeah.
Did Greg get banned on that sound off? Because he keeps winning it. The noisiest bandit. He even had a little trophy at the Winter Ball to say that he won the sound off. But
he did.
Because you got the little mini sprints. But no, what I mean is that it's on a country house. It's in the beautiful New Forest.
Stunning backdrop.
Getting to there takes forever because when the horses decide they just want to park in the middle of the road, they just park in the middle of the road and you can't do anything about it. But it's absolutely beautiful. I love just arriving in the New Forest and the horses and the ponies and the wildlife. It just feels really, really special. And then you almost can't believe there's going to be a supercar show.
Yeah. And this year we're going to do a New Forest drive the day before Beaulieu as well. So not this coming year. So we're excited about that.
Because we've sort of said, that's a good hotel to stay at, and then we've just caught up with the members when we've arrived. But actually, make a bit more of a thing of that. We'll definitely. And the team there are great. I mean, we've had the best club paddock there for the last couple of years. Centre stage, the first thing people see as they walk in. We've always made our club look really presentable, really pretty. And that tree was a lifesaver the previous year because it's where everyone congregated because it was just so hot.
So hot, yeah.
It was basically like, I remember walking around and either people like hugging up against walls trying to cool down or stood under the tree.
Yes, we got through a lot of water that year.
And then on the subject of tree, we were also on the trees at Salon Privé this year, which was a new thing for us because we used to be down in front of the house and then we were sort of a bit more around the sort of where the public walked through. So it was a great throughput of public walking past our pitch at Salon Privé this year.
Yeah, it was a very different format, wasn't it? Because they dropped the Sunday.
That's right.
So we were on the main Saturday this year instead, which was great. And the members had a great time. And having that period of time before the public arrived where they could wander around and look around the different stands and everything it has to offer as well. It's fantastic.
Because McLaren themselves opened up some drive slots for us, didn't they? So we actually had a couple of members, I think, buy our tours off the back of that, which is really, really cool. Obviously, they didn't do the sprints down outside the house this year, but we actually got involved with the Lockton Club Trophy. So we actually got to choose our top 5 cars, which is, I hate that because I'm all about equality and involving every member and not alienating people. But I was told to pick 5, so it was pretty much that one.
Couldn't argue with the winner though, could you? No.
Well, Lockton chose the winner, so I put 5 cars forward, and then Lockton picked the car. But that was special because that was a XJ220 that had been owned by a family from New, and it has a little bit. It's got a happy story, but it's got a little bit of a sad story. So the father bought it for his son the day he was born. He wanted to buy the fastest car in the world on the day he was born, and he was going to give it to him as 21st birthday present. But sadly, the dad wasn't there to see that whole thing through. But the car, and I think that was really special to the owner because he got to present his car, and his car won a prize. And I definitely think that was all for his dad, really, and that was really, really special. Just an honour to have that. It's so unusual for us. We don't normally have cars of that sort of age in the club, but it was just absolutely beautiful. And the McLaren SLR next to it was pretty special.
Yeah, that was very different. Not one you see very often at all. Yeah, and I got to have a drive in the Jag as well, which was cool.
You went very fast, didn't you? Was it 5 miles an hour?
Yeah, and in the passenger seat. So.
And it had a little wee when I was waiting as well, didn't it? So because it's an old car, but yeah, that was really, really fun. And also then to see our 177 that join also win a prize. But I tell you what, sat on the judges' side of the table and then looking out to everyone sort of photographing and smiling. That was really, really cool, and seeing the appreciation by just everyone there. Everyone's involved. Everyone's really enjoyed that aspect. So I know they dropped that sort of dynamic action, but they also picked up on the on that sort of prize giving. So yeah, it was really, really good fun.
This year we've had some brilliant member drives, including some drive and dines in the evening and some drive outs during the day. So we've done Wales, we've done the Peak District.
We went down to South Downs as well.
South Downs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So we're doing all of those again this year, plus much more in 2024. So we're really excited to do lots of extra drive outs.
I think it's just general feedback and actually us learning as well. We're so new as a club to get that confidence of, yeah, we can do this. And actually probably, you know, we're pretty OCD with our planning and stuff like that. Just relax ourselves a bit more because the members just generally enjoy it. Maybe not that we're dropping anything. We're definitely not dropping anything important. But just have a little more relaxed approach. Do more. Let's get out and about. We've also learned some great routes. We've learned what routes haven't worked.
Yeah.
But driving in Wales is just amazing. And we had a really brilliant back-to-back weekend there. So we did a Wales drive, and then we went down to South Downs. But the Peak District drive, I think 10 or 12 hours on the road the day before.
And a massive recce as well.
Well, that was what the recce was. It was, I planned a route. It looked great. I did my Google Maps route.
Yeah, that's our starting point, isn't it?
And then I drove
Before we recce.
and I got to the coffee stop and I hadn't gone out of 50-mile-an-hour zones. And part of the Peak District I went across, I had like drone police cameras, and I'm thinking, not that we're going to do anything wrong, but you just feel immense pressure, don't you?
Yeah.
So I literally had to scrap it. I mean, the whole thing I'd done, so that first few hours of the drive, I just had to scrap it and start again. And that's why I was on the road for so much and going down roads and stopping and coming back and then going down more roads and stopping and coming back and that. I was absolutely exhausted. I think it was about 12 hours I spent in the car that day. And then the following day, it was an early start and the members then joined us. But actually, the end product was amazing. I did make a little bit of a hiccup, and I don't know if I've told you about this or not.
You did, yeah.
I did tell you,
You
okay.
had one car follow you down the wrong way, didn't you? And then everyone else carried on the route.
It was two. I just missed a turning. We pulled for a junction. I just, focusing on going along. I think there was a hazard, so Thomas called on the radio, there's a hazard, and then we realised we'd gone past the turning, and I just called over the radio. Well, Thomas, our co-driver, called over the radio just to say, guys, continue on the nav, we'll catch you back up. And luckily, one of the members, I think car 4, carried on the route, and his son, the co-pilot, was absolutely brilliant. He carried on Thomas's job. So you want a job? We've got a position for you as co-driver for our He was amazing. So all of a sudden, then I'm like at the back of the pack, getting all these calls from the radio, and it's so effective actually, because normally it's us calling it. So when you see that at the back of the pack, and the roads are great. It was great fun trying to play catch up as well, and getting to that final coffee stop. And randomly, the guy that ran the coffee stop had, I think he used to be a Bugatti test driver. It was in the middle of the Peak District. This sleepy little coffee stop was so much fun. But I think the things we liked the most. Oh, when we had a first this year, me and you did a driving tour together.
We did Wales, yeah.
First and last.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. So we did Wales. We went to the hottest place we've ever done a driving tour, Ireland.
Yeah, I know.
So
the pictures are incredible for that.
Oh, do you know what? I think Ireland's amazing. We go back there every year. I mean, how hot it was there. You never get clouds in the sky. Funny enough, the locals kept saying to us, it doesn't happen a lot like this.
It was a bit of a different weather to what they're used to.
So our ambassador, Peter Greaves, which will put a tag up in the corner screen for his video, he basically tracked the whole tour, and that's really interesting. She got some really good behind the scenes of what we get up to as a co-pilot, and you see sort of how busy I was on that tour, and obviously the pressures you're under. But one thing that was really fascinating to me about that is we didn't have the roof down, so we didn't have the roof up at all for that whole journey.
You had an Aston Martin Roadster, didn't you? From
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin, yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a big thanks to Aston Martin for that. They were brilliant towards us, and there was a discrepancy of who actually got the car for Peter Greaves, but we'll just leave that one there from his video.
I didn't make it to Europe for any of the driving tours, but you did the Black Forest this year?
Yeah. So we started in Baden-Baden in Germany in the middle of the Black Forest, and did this amazing route down into Zurich for the night. And then we went back to the same hotel in Baden-Baden. But it was obviously quite apparent that everyone's aware of how strict the Swiss are with their
rules.
I was really just thinking in my head then, how can I say this right? But not rules. They're just very, very strict over there.
Yeah.
And it was a very scenic drive, that one. So we were taking in lots of time to take in that beautiful Swiss. alpine scenery, which was amazing. And then we went into this incredible restaurant right in the middle of Zurich, which we took about half an hour walk down the river, and the architecture and the buildings and the lights, it was fantastic, really, really fantastic. And then headed back up to the Black Forest, through the Black Forest, and finished back at the Start Hotel. So it's quite handy for the members that forgot their passports on the first night, because when they got back to the hotel at the end, they managed to get their passports back.
Oh, good.
So I won't mention who you were either. So, but that was really cool. And then we went back and did our second run of the south of France, and we switched that format up a little bit, which actually the members preferred. So we did 2 nights, 1 night, which was cool, because it gave the guys or the girls to have some downtime in between. So if they didn't want to go on a day of driving, they got to hang out in these wonderful hotels. Chateau de Bagnols, or Bagnols, I can't pronounce that right now, but it looks like Bagnols, so we go Bagnols, shall we? But that chateau with that moat that goes around it, you go into that place, it literally takes your breath away. And every time, even just when you go for breakfast, like, wow, this is unreal. And the castle's got this courtyard in the middle, and they've put a glass dome roof over the top of it. And you have your breakfast, this huge walls of the castle with this dome roof, and just you look up and you're like, if you feel like you're outdoors but you're indoors, it's breathtaking. And then we contrasted that with another 5-star hotel, which is ultra modern, and it was the total opposite, but it was equally as brilliant. And this year we went to the Hotel de Paris with the members, and driving into Monaco, parking outside the Hotel de Paris, and the team van was with us this year. And parking outside the Hotel de Paris was just absolutely wicked. So really, really proud for me. I love driving into Monaco. So next year we're actually going into Europe for the first time with SCC. So I'm super proud that you can get over there and tell the members where you're going.
Going to, well, it's the Costa del Sol tour, and we're going to Marbella.
You're going to Marbella?
Yeah.
Do you know,
wait.
When we planned that one, I was like, do you know, I love that. I think that sounds brilliant. I might even have a couple of days sunning myself on the beach, and then somebody here snapped that one up, didn't you?
Yeah, so I'll be sunning myself on the beach instead.
So I'll be back in the Alps, and actually we're going on a Stelvio tour. So we're starting in Germany, just because it's a bit easier for people coming from the UK. So get yourself to Germany, go down through Germany, scoot round the outside of Switzerland, through Austria, and end up on the Stelvio Pass. We'll do Stelvio Pass twice, so we'll finish and start. So our finish point will be just the other side of Stelvio Pass, and then the start point on the way back will be just to the side and head back up through. So we get to do that twice. And I saw that on Top Gear years and years ago, and since then I thought I need to go on Stelvio Pass.
Yeah, well, it's just such a famous route, isn't it? Like, vehicle testing is done there, and it is a very, very cool place to say you've been. So yeah, and you're going on that with
our ambassador again, Mr. Peter Greaves. But there's something cool about Stelvio, and there's a car manufacturer that made a car called a Stelvio. So I wonder if he can work his magic, and I don't know. We'll see.
Fingers crossed. So tell the members a little bit about the restructure we've had on tours this year from our feedback from members.
Yeah, I mean, I think restructure is probably the wrong word to use, but it's the tours we've always run has been like a platinum tour. It's been 5-star hotels, pretty much all inclusive. Lunches are optional. But yeah, it's been 5-star hotels, Michelin star food. There's always been wine with the dinners, not too much because the driving tour.
Yes.
And it's been very much about trying to deliver the highest level of service and most luxury tour you can get. But sort of feedback from members was some aren't fussed about that. So we've introduced a tier called driving tours, which is a bed and breakfast basis with optional lunch, optional dinner, but just really to just bring those costs down, to get people behind the wheels, get SEC members in Europe, and often just a new dimension to us. So, personally, my preference, and probably where we've seen it's been the Platinum Tour, but we have now given an option to do driving tours. So Platinum Tours for next year is we're going to Champagne region with an optional Black Forest bolt-on.
Yes.
So members can either just go home, or there's a separate tour through the Black Forest back to Royal Champagne Hotel, which is probably the best hotel in the Champagne region. And then to Monaco again. So we're doing a Geneva through the Alps start for this one, finish in Monaco. So more Alps tour with the Monaco finish. And then driving tours wise was our Costa del Sol tour, which we've established that you've secured that one, and the Stelvio tour, which I'll be going on. So really, really looking forward to those for 2024.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait.
There are some eagle-eyed viewers, as we know.
Yes.
And those eagle-eyed viewers would have noticed a microphone and a chair.
An empty chair.
So can we now address the elephant in the room of this emptiness and bringing our newest member of the SCC team? Ryan, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to call you an elephant. If that's how it came across, you're definitely not an elephant. I just meant that the fact that we've been chatting away, and anyone might have seen why have they got an empty chair and a microphone and that? But welcome to the team.
No, thank you. It's okay, Brad. I forgive you as well. No, it's been an absolute pleasure. My SEC journey for the first 7 weeks, I think it's been, has
been
already
7
been.
weeks? Wow.
It has.
Do you think it feels like longer? Because I do. I do sit with the office with him every day.
Yeah.
But no, it's been absolutely magical. The team has been welcomed me with open arms, and you know what? It's not just the team; it's the members. Have been absolutely fantastic. So polite, and it's been incredible.
I think what's been really nice, because traditionally we've all worked remotely. So obviously me and you are just used to working remote now, but we've opened up our new head office in just off the motorway, M5 in Highbridge. Got it all kitted out, ready for the newbies' arrival, and actually having that face-to-face daily contact has been pretty cool. So it's been great having you. And well, tell us about your background, because your actual degree is you technically means you're more intelligent than us, doesn't it?
We'll see about that.
What do you mean technically?
Yeah, I try to not let it get to my head, but so I studied business and event management at the University of Hertfordshire. So I did my course there for 3 years.
You were sunning yourself in a country not doing any work, is that right? Just before you joined SEC?
I may have been in California for a year, and that was absolutely fantastic.
Not jealous at all. And you're right down the bottom, and you're overlooking
Tijuana.
Tijuana.
Yeah,
Ryan taught me how to
rough on
pronounce
the throat when I say
Tijuana
that.
properly. In San Diego.
Yeah, I was in San Diego.
What was it like working or living in San Diego?
It was...
Or not working for a student?
It was an interesting mixture of a very fast environment, but also very relaxed at the same time. You had the busy corporate landscape, but you also had the sea. I was right by the coast, and it
Nice.
was,
Just like now,
just like now.
in your new location.
And didn't you win a Mustang on some crazy competition?
Oh yes,
For a short period, obviously.
yeah, that's a fantastic story. It's a very long one, but I'll go through it. And essentially, I won a Mustang rental for 3 days hula hooping.
Yeah, I heard this.
thought?
Yeah.
That is cool.
But obviously hula hooping only allows you to win the EcoBoost Mustang, not the V8, which I didn't even know they did that in America. I thought it was only V8s.
We don't say that part of the story. It was a 5-liter V8. Okay,
It wasn't.
cruising through the Californian mountains.
With the turbochargers.
Yes.
And pedaling like
Yes.
you never pedaled before. No, that was absolutely wicked.
I was living the American dream, so
But also, we actually had contact with you for your part-time work in September, because you were also at Salon Privé.
that's right. Yeah, and then that was that was an interesting time, because it was very shortly after that my position was available, and I was like, you know what, this is the job that I need to have, and everything has aligned up perfectly.
You actually, you in all fairness, you completely made it happen, and we couldn't, your passion, just I don't think there's anybody I don't think there's anybody that had association with SCC that you hadn't reached out to as well. I think does that make any sense?
Yeah, you spoke to all of the previous
Pretty much
team
everyone.
members.
Everyone keeps saying, "Who's Ryan?" I thought he's not reached out to you as well.
I did my research.
I did research. Who's Ryan? Who's Ryan? Who's Ryan? All these messages kept pinging up. So no, we're really impressed, and really glad to have you on the team.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
It's being a pleasure.
It is a pleasure.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
It's an ongoing pleasure. It's an indefinite
Is
pleasure.
that the Christmas surprise to members? Like, hi, I popped in for a little bit and I'm gone again.
So, as a good guest, I have come prepared with a few questions for you two.
What?
Are you ready?
No.
How many passes do we get?
Is this a buzzer thing? We got to go press the buzzers.
Yeah, so I should have come prepared with buzzers.
You should have done. Yeah. This is rubbish.
Right, are you ready?
No.
So, question number 1.
Yeah.
Can you share any behind-the-scene anecdotes or stories that our members might not be aware of?
I've got a good one.
Oh no.
Can I start?
Above me.
It does. It's a good one.
Okay, go on then.
So, don't worry, I won't be too honest.
Generally worried now. Can I leave?
There it is. I remember at the Winter Ball, everyone is aware we got the cars in and we got the cars out.
Yeah.
In quite a small window.
Yeah.
We had about an hour and a half to get, how many cars did we have
16.
inside? 16 cars
Yeah.
inside the Concorde hangar. In the tiniest gap ever, there was like that much room left on either side of the car for most of them. And every time we approached these fire doors, we had members of the team on each fire door holding them open and holding them down. We had padding there and lots of things to make sure nothing bad happened, and nothing did. But the comical part was that Brad, we all had radios to talk to each other, and every time we'd get there, we'd go, Brad, how do you fold the wing mirrors in on a insert car name here? And he had this encyclopedic knowledge of every car and how to fold in the wing mirrors. It was hilarious, and it did become a bit of a test in the end, didn't it? Towards the end, like, right, Brad,
I was
how'd you do it
100%.
on a?
You were just getting my instructions wrong. You eventually got it. Yeah, it's like, dude, just turn and hold. I think just being in automotive world and just driving so many luxury cars or supercars, you just learn everything. You learn quickly, and as you know, with working in the car industry, you never get nice roomy gaps. So the first thing you have to do is
Yes.
learn how to fold your wing mirrors in.
Get cars inside
but it was
showrooms.
ridiculous. Like every single person rated, Brad, how'd you fold the wing mirrors in on a McLaren or Ferrari? And that, I'm like, well, it's that. So I actually impressed myself.
Yeah, it was good.
So I can't remember what it was, but we did an event. You have a brilliant thing of sending me on stupid locations before a track day, and I don't know why you've done this, but in the planning, because it's your fault, you're events
Yeah,
manager.
I do,
So I was
yeah.
just somewhere
They're fun.
ridiculous, and then we realised I had to get to Castle Combe for track day, and I wasn't very well on a day I was going to. It was a long way. It was like Essex or something from
Yeah.
Castle Combe, and it was an 11 o'clock finish or midnight finish, and I wasn't great anyway. So I used all of my energy to get to this. I think it was a drive and dine event, and I was really ill. And I got back to the travel lodge, the glamorous travel lodge, on the side of the M4 just before our track day. And I think you got a message from like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. for me when I had to. I was really ill.
Yeah, they're an early start anyway. At
They were an early
Castle
start,
Combe,
and I think I was in Lee Delamere Services at 3 a.m. looking for ibuprofen or something just to try and make me get through the rest of the night. And
Yeah.
the messages give you, I think I pin dropped my location
You
of where the
did.
car was.
Yeah.
And I had the key at the window, so you want to come in. So I had the key ready to go to pass you at the window because I knew I was not making Castle Combe by that
No.
point. And I didn't sleep at all. We normally have to be at the circuit for about 7 a.m., 7:30
And
a.m.
everything was in the car, the indemnity
Everything I
forms
had,
and-
everything for that
ready
day
for
was
the
in the
day.
van, wasn't
Yeah,
it? That I needed for
it
that day.
was.
So the van had to be there, and obviously, and I got up maybe like 6:30. I thought I am just going to, try and man up and
Yeah.
get through this event.
You
And I
did it.
messaged you, and I got through it. But apparently, I was pretty grumpy. And a couple of members of the staff were saying to me that I was the grumpiest they've ever seen me. But just being there, I thought they would have been happy,
They don't see me as much as I do, so
So there we go. I had a grumpy track day. Hopefully the members did notice. But obviously I didn't probably moan too much about how poorly it was, because I probably wouldn't have brought that up, even though I'm going to bring it up now. But yeah, that was tough going, and we made it through the day, and I really enjoyed the day anyway.
they are such great days, aren't
But
they?
is that behind the scenes? That answered your question again?
Yeah, no, thank you, Brad. Thank you, Rachel, for sharing that experience with the members.
I forgot this is recorded. I'm chatting away to you guys.
It really, and what we take from that is how much hard work and resilience and effort that we put in behind the scenes.
Yeah, for sure.
make-
Yeah.
Sure, our
What's the next question? Come on.
Right. So, changing the tone slightly.
I'm just nervous. I just want to get through this. So come on, let's
wait
hit
for
me,
my
hit me.
pass.
Let's go.
So, Brad and Rachel, if you were a qualifying car, what qualifying car do you think other people would say you would be?
Oh no. You would be something small,
So these
and I'd be
small,
something
yeah.
big,
Yeah, the opposites.
like a Rolls
What's
Royce
the
Wraith.
smallest car?
Elegant and big, and you would be
Maybe a Vantage
you would
or
be a
an
Lotus.
R8 or a Lotus.
You'd be a Lotus.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, you
I'd take that. I'd be happy with all of those.
Actually, remember that we drove the Emira or that GT. It was the lead car, wasn't it, for the BTCC? It was what do they call it, the safety vehicle for that. And we had all the little light. They wouldn't let put the right lights on the roof,
they
but that was
wouldn't, no.
before the pressure-driven Emira. So it was
Yes.
really cool to be able to.
And that was sprung upon us as well. Like we
Weren't
popped
expecting
over
it.
there and they
Well, you-
said, "Oh, would you like to have a drum loaf?" And
Well, you went out first because
Yeah.
Gavin, their test driver, took you out on circuit.
Yeah.
And then they just stopped.
just to show him how it was done.
Yeah, and they stopped like at the end of the pit lane, and then you swapped over. I'm like, no, you're not going to drive a mirror.
Yeah.
And you did.
I did.
And
Before
then
you did.
Yeah, before I did, yeah. And then I thought he won't do it for me. I think it's probably because Rach trusts really, really nicely, and so I didn't say anything. I just went out on a hot lap, and that guy can drive. Like I think he could have driven with his eyes shut, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then we jumped in to we swapped over, and I got to drive it. But I remember that conversation we had at the pub, and you said to me, "I'd have loved it if it was right-hand drive. I just felt more natural."
Oh, it was
And
left-hand drive cars and me.
but I said, no, it was right-hand drive. We had this whole sort of spat, and I thought, actually, it was left-hand drive. And for me, from a petrol head and driving left and right-hand drive cars, to get to a point where you can go on circuit and you drive either car, either side, for me, it was a personal goal I achieved at that moment, actually on track, not noticing whether it's left or right-hand drive, and just driving it as you would on track. So
yeah.
we digressed there, mate. Sorry, next question.
So the next question for you two would be, what is your current vision for SCC? If you had a magic button and you could click it, how would you like SCC to
Wow,
look?
how magic's this
Pass.
button?
It's a very magic button. Very magic.
I think
finding a magic button would be the right thing. Let's have a magic button and more magic button.
that's a really tough question because we're always thinking about pushing things and outside the box. And like the winter ball this year, for instance, thinking about how we're going to better that next year. Like I was at the winter ball thinking, oh God, now what we're going to do next?
I have a
And
plan.
it's the same for, this year just gone, we did Prescott Hill Climb for our private meet. And since then, in fact, before then, we've been thinking about what we're going to do for the private meet this coming year in 2024. So I don't think we ever stop thinking and ever stop trying and ever stop pushing and planning and working in the background. There's a lot behind the scenes that goes on, really. So, yeah.
Okay, I'll answer your question.
Okay.
You asked about a magic button, didn't you? So which Rachel didn't cover, but
I didn't.
So we.
I just rambled.
So if I had a magic button, I think my vision is to be the most welcoming, most professional, most organised, attentive car club and a community. And I think my magic button would be loads of resources. So having 10, 15 of us in the team where we could cover all the member areas immediately.
More
Give them
events.
more events. And just trying to content. I think we have been pretty much flat out this year. We've worked every weekend, almost every weekend, and we can sustain that. But what we're trying to do is grow a club where more members means we can bring on more members of staff. So my magic button would be, let's hit it. Let's take on 15 members of staff. Let's cover the whole country, not just further south. And let's smash it. Let's become the best car club, private members club there is in the world.
Let's make it happen.
What, the button or the making the best?
Both.
Cool. Right, next question.
Okay, I've got one more question. So, what car are you most excited for next year to drive?
That's a tough one because there are so many cars out there. And I suppose we've got to stick to qualifying, haven't we, when answering?
Is it the E63 when it's had its stealth conversion finished?
No.
Okay. Why not? Okay, sorry, you carry on.
The new van, definitely. I think from the qualifying car list,
Is that another spoiler alert that we're going to reveal our new team van at the season opener?
we are.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Go.
Yeah, spoiled.
Sorry, spoil.
So I don't know, I suppose the Artura is one that I've never driven and would love to have a go in. But yeah, I think I love passenger rides in cars probably more than actually getting behind the wheel, because that for me is getting to see how they can be driven a little bit better than I'm capable of.
Can I go now?
I can see you desperately want to.
So, hopefully if things pan out for me very, very well, I had a really fantastic invite by Lotus, so been Lotus showroom, I thought it'd be quite cool, to go to the Algarve to drive the 2,000 horsepower Lotus Evija at the end of January. So Rach, can I submit my time off for the 24th of January?
I'm sorry that date doesn't work. But
Well, I'm going anyway. But we've got a couple of
in the office.
we got a couple of members that are interested in buying the car, and Lotus asked me to go and host them. So we're going to go, there's 3 in total. There's no limit on that. We're going to go to the Algarve and drive Evija, and they've told me I can drive Evija. So the answer to your question is I'm really, really looking forward to driving Evija next year.
kept that one quiet.
I did keep very quiet that one, yeah. So just in case if you go, oh, I'm having that. No, I'm really excited about that. The members are booked on it. And yeah, can't wait. And a Mira GT4 as well on track, which is going to be equally exciting.
Very
so
cool.
two top cars looking forward to driving next year is the Lotus Evija and the Mira GT4.
Absolutely
Smug.
fantastic. I've been a part of SEC for less than 2 months, and I'm still always amazed by all the surprises Brad and Rachel have in store. It's an endless supply.
We've got a big one for next year. Can't quite talk about it yet, but it might involve next year's Winter Ball.
It might.
Which has been was going to be pretty epic. And I did promise to do a hotel to calm things down, but we might have to just keep the level up one more year.
Let's stop stopping him there.
Okay. Just in case to tell people. So just before we round up and let people go and eat their Christmas dinner, or if they're watching this later on, then their dinner. What event are you looking forward to next year, Ryan?
So I'm really, really looking forward to Supercar Fest.
Okay, it's a good show.
Love Supercar Fest.
I've been working on the social media, and I've been able to see how Supercar Fest was for SEC this year, and it just makes me so excited to see that like plethora of colours lined up
Yeah.
in a prominent space in the show, and to be with the SEC team, all the members, and yeah, I'm just really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, because actually we're going to do the colour convoy this year. We will attempt it anyway, see how it goes at Supercar Fest with all the lines of the colours. So, yeah. Rachel?
So I think, gosh, it's really tough because we've got so many awesome events planned. For me, the track days, the SEC track days that we do at Castle Coombe are really just one of those things that
They're brilliant.
everyone is smiling, everyone really enjoys it. It's qualifying cars only, so members are surrounded by like-minded people, also driving their pride and joy. We allow 6 cars on track at any one time. It's the 108 decibel day. There's just so much to love about it. And they're so popular, and the members that come along, whether they're novices and have never been on track before, or they're experts that have been on track loads of times, they all really enjoy it and feel like they've had the track to themselves for a lot of the time because of it being a quieter day for this. It's a perfect one for owners of qualifying cars.
And we do have instructions available.
We do.
Instructors available.
Yeah,
and the
there is
108
tuition.
decibel makes a big difference for us.
Yes.
And it's chilled and relaxed.
It is, yeah.
Oh, on the subject of tracks,
Yeah.
Daytona 5. I'm smiling here.
Yes.
Daytona 500. Going to watch NASCAR.
Your dream has come true, hasn't it?
We're taking SCC to Florida for the first time. I mean, for me, just this, like you say, this button, we're getting halfway to having the Ryan button.
Yeah, the
we'll call
Ryan
it.
button.
We're going to watch Daytona 500, going to Florida, and also hooking up some really cool things over there. Renting some trucks from the airports, Escalades, and that type of vehicle up Highway 1 along the coast. Kennedy Space Center, Epcot, be fishing, and then 2 days at NASCAR. So the Infinity Series on the Saturday, we're teaming up with one of the actual drivers there, and then on the Sunday watching the Daytona 500 in the grandstands, full American style, hot dog, beer. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So
And there's 2 spaces left on that?
at
Was
the
that
moment,
fully
but
booked?
yeah, this isn't.
That's true.
Today is 2
Today,
spaces left,
today.
but by Christmas Day.
Yeah.
But there's potentially spaces. We have 2 tickets left in our allocation. So yeah, if you guys want to save up and come join me, I genuinely wish I could take you both. I really do. Maybe next year. Let's get it sold out next year.
As a club, we wouldn't be here without our sponsor network. We value them so much. We need to say thank you to them for everything that they do to support us. And it's great to see them doing really well from sponsoring SEC, but also the benefits that the members get from using them as well. And the feedback we get from that is always really positive, and that's down to how fantastic they are. So thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they help with everything. It helps us plan events for the next Winter Ball. If it wasn't for them, it's a big part of who we are and how we get to the next event.
Yeah.
And what we've tried to create is this sponsor circle where you have every sponsor on the outside of the circle. You put a member in the middle of that circle, and they can use all of the sponsors without conflicting. And that's something that we try to do as best we can for our members. We have introduced some regions now, so we've taken on our first ever regional sponsorship, which will then roll out throughout the rest of the country.
Yeah.
But they're so important, and it's great seeing, as Rachel said, the benefits that they're receiving from the members and vice versa.
Yeah.
We have now got quite a lot of sponsors, so rather than go through them individually, I've just dropped everything in the description below. So click into the description section. All of the sponsors will be in there. All the links to everything will be in there, and anyone sort of automotive, qualifying car owner will definitely be able to find a suitable sponsor.
And for anybody watching, if you'd like a personal introduction to our sponsor network, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at ryan@secprivatemembers.com.
Thanks, Ryan. And with that members bit, the members as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're just so fortunate to have a fantastic group of members that, want to support the club and be part of it. So we're really fortunate.
I think the feedback we get pretty much from any new members is really difficult joining a club, and we fully understand that.
Yeah.
So the one thing that we make sure that happens, and every time we get a new member that joins us, we'll go and find them. You keep a list, I keep a list, and make sure they're welcomed. And if we can possibly pair them up to someone we might think would be get along well with. But we really want to make everyone, any new members, feel really as welcomed as possible. But our feedback we get from members is, how welcoming we are. The stereotypical car club. I think calling it Private Members Club definitely helps us.
Yes.
And we do see a lot of couples as well. So there's a really strong sort of female attendance at events, which we're super proud of. But that's been one thing I've been really most proud of, how our feedback we get from members of just how welcoming everything is. It's really, really cool. And from me and all of the SCC team that on here, huge thank you to you. You've made our year so special. We've loved every moment we've been with you. Every dinner, every drive, every call on the radio, it's been absolutely brilliant. So a massive thank you from me for your support with SCC Private Members. But we've kept everyone here long enough. It's Christmas dinner time. I'm hungry. Should we go for dinner?
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Not a little.